What's good, y'all? Hope everybody's living well, staying blessed. It's your boy Marcus B, and I am joined with the one and only Mr. Evan Simmons. Unfortunately, the new guy Chris still working that day job, can't get in here. Still trying to get those schedules lined up. Anyways, this is episode 91 of Holla at Me with yours truly, and today it was just me and Evan sitting down. He's recently just getting back from TBA. For those that aren't familiar, that's Texas Bandmasters Association, just a giant convention in San Antonio that talks about band and music and teaching and how to be better at it. So we talk about that, talk about things that he learned, things that he gained. We're going into our fourth school year. Excited about that. We talk about all things teaching, basically catch up on life because we hadn't seen each other in about a week and a half. All right, so just getting to catch up is always nice when you get to sit down and chat with your boy. Anyways, if you like what we're doing out here, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, and share. It's the only way this gets out to other people is through you guys, so we appreciate any help we can get. Also, if you need any vitamins, supplements, protein powders, anything like that, apparel, go to redcon1.com. Before checkout, under tier operator, use my promo code T20MarcusB, and you will get an extra 20% off of your entire order, and you help support the podcast, and we greatly appreciate it. So hope you guys enjoy the episode. Peace. Dude, welcome back from TBA.
Yeah.
We're recording this, what is it, the 26th?
25th.
25th.
Yeah.
July 25th. You were just getting back, was it this morning or last
night?
Last night.
Yeah.
Coming from TBA, for everybody that is not from Texas. Do we still have a fan base in Canada?
I don't know. I haven't looked at the Podbean. I don't know if that was like a blip either, because like after that, I didn't see them. I was like, did we just get a random group of people that were like in Ontario? Like, we should listen to this.
This feels good. This feels right.
I'll have to check the Podbean again. Because who knows? We could have blown up on Podbean and I don't even know it.
Honestly, yeah, that's terrible on me for not even asking you. I felt like I asked you fairly regularly back when we started, and now it's just been like I just go straight YouTube.
That was back when I was checking it. Now I just like upload. And
yeah,
it's kind of like, I don't know.
Who knows? Maybe we have more than 200 subscribers.
Yeah,
I think we're at like 194.
191.
191.
As of yesterday.
Who stops being subscribed?
Me? I've done it before.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like when you're, for me, it's whenever my YouTube like feed isn't like stuff I like don't like you subscribe to at one point and then you're like, I haven't looked at this page in 2 years. Like,
Gotcha. Okay, I guess.
There's this guy on YouTube, Elliot Hulse. He's he was like just like a workout guy. I watched him a couple of years ago, and then he took a break from YouTube for a while, and then came back, and his stuff's a little wild.
Yeah.
So I have not unsubscribed to him. Out of just watching him kind of go a little bit odd.
I don't know. I've never been the type. Like, you got to be. I couldn't tell you if I've ever unfriended or like unfollowed anybody.
Yeah.
Or unsubscribed to anything. Just like, yeah.
I mean, yeah. Most times I don't really care. But like, for YouTube, I feel like it's kind of like, watching like Netflix or something like that, where like if there's a show on Netflix I don't want to watch, I just like, you just don't have it on your thing anymore. Like, you just get rid of it on your queue or whatever, or you just leave it alone. Yeah,
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Who knows what the Podbean numbers are since nobody.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look.
Nobody's actually keeping track of that. Anyways,
yeah,
you're coming back from TBA,
right?
Texas Bandmasters Association.
Yeah, for the people that are not.
Yeah,
I was like, how do we get to this? Yeah, people that are not from Texas.
That's what that stands for. It's like a diet.
TMEA.
which
I
is
mean,
Texas music education.
yeah, diet. Oh yeah, diet as far as like budget and like stuff goes.
Budget and size.
Yeah.
But in reality, I mean, there's the same weekend at Henry B,
Yeah,
TCDA and
and Toda to TODA.
TODA are going on as well, right?
Yeah,
So it's literally just like
it is Team EA. But it's
Team EA.
without the elementary.
Without the elementary.
I guess without the funding of all of Team EA.
Yeah.
Because like I guess for Team EA they can afford a lot more like concerts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if I don't know how the band people. I don't know how the band people because we get the Lila Cockrell Theater
Yeah.
every night. I'm like, how do we get that theater every night? Like,
I have no idea.
I don't TODA. Well, no, TCDA doesn't get it, but TODA. Like, I'm like, do they not have like? But we do have a lot of funding for band stuff because football, foosball.
Yeah, woo.
Yeah. But yeah, got back from TBA yesterday. Had a good time.
I've actually never been to TBA.
Oh yeah,
Never gone, because it's always
right at the beginning of a band.
it's tied between drumline camp and yesterday was DCI San Antonio.
Yeah.
Normally,
Yeah.
so I'm like,
Yeah, it's never at a good time. It's a very it's not a bad time, but
it's a good time for band folk. But like,
Yeah.
if you're into the drum world, it's
yeah, I don't see like a lot of percussionists there. It's weird. Like in hindsight, like I don't really see not a lot of drum clinics going on.
yeah. If you're a heavy percussion guy, then it's just like, oh, I'll just go learn whatever I'll learn from DCI San Antonio.
Sure.
Spend 14 hours
In the lot.
in the parking lot of the Alamo Dome and get the same
Yeah.
ideas, clinics, blah blah blahs.
Yeah, because that's what a lot of those clinics are. You're just kind of sitting like. Ideally, a clinic is just like a rehearsal, and then people are like, "I do this," and you go, "Oh, I like that," and then you wind up doing it. So,
so that being said, you get any hitters, any super big things you've taken from the convention?
I don't really know. Nothing like major, because I feel like a lot of the clinics I went to, they were a lot of people like kind of reinforcing like things, reinforcing slash. It's funny the amount of times I think we need a new exercise, we need a new book, we need a new this, a new that, something like different, something like fun and fresh, and like nah, there's like 7 exercises, like
just do those.
there's like literally just those. That's all anyone has to do ever.
Yeah.
You just you vary those and whatnot, and that's kind of like how you teach band. Like you teach like 7 exercises for 6th through 12th grade, and then you play some music after you're done learning those the skills to play those to play those exercises. That's kind of a majority of band, which is
so it's one of those things that it feels like there's a secret to it.
It really
but in reality,
yeah.
It's the same thing homie did from the 1940s.
Yeah. Yeah, we've all been doing the exact same thing. Like, granted, it's like changed a little bit, and there's some different blending of things that have happened. There's like more ear training and stuff like that now, more like metronome use and use of drones and stuff like that. 'Cause we have the technology. But in the end, it's all just like
we've just made it easier to do the 7 exercises.
Right. Yeah. we made it easier and a lot more simple to like teach them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really those 7 exercises, and there's no use in reinventing the wheel.
Good thing you spent our entire first year putting together a book to
Yeah.
reinvent the wheel.
Right. Yeah. I mean, well, no, my goal with that book wasn't to reinvent the wheel. My goal was to consolidate the wheel, to make the wheel smaller.
Fair enough.
Because like the wheel was like the Foundations for Superior Performance book. It was like the blue book.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's like, that's the book, and I'm like, 7th grade bands only used like 2 pages of that book. Let's make that book way smaller. And now I like did my book. It's like a quarter of the size that it was.
Really?
Because
Yeah.
you wind up not using a lot of it.
Even
You
even
think you're gonna use it, but you don't.
yeah, even planning like modestly,
Yeah.
it's still, you know, why it's super dope if you get your kids to play all 12 major scales.
Right.
Super beneficial.
Are they gonna play in B all the time?
Seldom are they going to use, yeah,
Not till maybe 11th grade. Like maybe they'll play
maybe.
something that is in B, and even then it'll be like an etude or something like that.
Yeah,
Like
like it just doesn't happen. So like there's I mean, I've been thinking about that a lot as well actually with how I teach sixth grade percussion, excuse me. And trying to decipher what's actually beneficial
yeah,
and what's not. I like to think that I cut the fat off a lot of the stuff, but
yeah. Cut the fat. I mean, there was some stuff like granted, like you could have like, got to at some point, but like there's always stuff we could have got to.
yeah,
Like, I didn't teach my clarinets like tuning like this year. Like it completely like dawned on me. I was like, oh yeah, I just kind of like I forgot to teach them how to tune. Like
oops,
granted, because I teach the clarinets to push all the way in, and like I play in tune all the way in, so I just kind of assume that they are too. Um,
not
that's
quite,
it's my
not quite
fault.
how that works.
Yeah, not quite at all.
But also just use your mouth, and I mean you can. Clarinet is as malleable as trombone almost, if you know how to
Yeah, to a certain extent, yeah.
use your mouth properly.
All right. Yeah, so I just there's always stuff we could get to, but if we don't get to it, we don't get to it. But if you do get to it,
Cool.
yeah.
I guess like the thing that I was thinking of is how much like
Yeah.
what's
How much do you actually need to teach?
what's the lap? Like what's the sixth grade lap around the track? Like what does that actually consist of, you know, like let's say you
Like for percussion?
yeah.
In my mind, you teach them like how to hold. I mean, like going through the whole like progression of it. Teach them how to like hold sticks. You teach them like how to set up their drums. You teach them like how to hit the stick, quarter notes. Then eventually get to eighth notes, mallet stuff, like scales, like reading music, and then eventually like maybe timpani. And
Because I think everybody agrees up until right before you said timpani.
yeah,
Everybody's like, all right, so we're all in
yeah.
we're all on board. We're all up to all right. We're scales and reading music. Cool. What's after that?
I mean, like one thing I saw. I went to this clinic about. It was like your pedagogical stuff from like. It's called pedagogy pathway from like piccolo to percussion. Like
I
everything.
hate the names.
I know.
I hate the names of all of these clinics.
What else are they gonna do? Learn them all. But like their big thing for percussion was like, make sure your kids, like we talked about, like make sure your kids can play all of the auxiliary instruments.
Yeah.
Like go over bass drum technique, go over all that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff is like all, like yes, you'll get to it in seventh grade. Like you'll play that stuff more
Yeah.
in seventh grade, but it'd be nice to have it in sixth grade. But well, timpani. I mean, granted, our timpani are broke. So teaching on them, trust me, every time I try to tune them, I'm like, none of these make an E flat. None of these make an E flat. This one it goes too low. This one goes too high. This one's broken. If I get to an E flat, it'll immediately drop.
Yep. It's awesome.
Yeah, it makes me so happy when I'm just like, nothing feels better in my soul than walking away from a timpani and being like close enough. Like nothing makes me feel better. But yeah.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It's awful. But yeah, I've thought about this, and I need to hit up some of my buddies. It doesn't help that a couple of my buddies that were teaching middle school are now not teaching. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, shit.
But the timpani thing was mostly for like region stuff because you want them to
Kids be prepared for the
Right.
region audition in 7th grade. Okay, cool.
because do they do timpani in high school?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
yeah. That's
yeah.
usually like the deciding factor.
Is timpani okay?
But so it's like timpani versus 16 notes versus like heavy syncopation.
Yeah.
How much of the accessories do you get into? How much of the reading do you get into? Like,
I mean, I think all of it is something that you have to cover it all eventually.
yeah,
Like that's the thing I'm like having to get to more is that like yes, okay, they didn't play that scale perfectly. Like but also we haven't like for if I'm teaching like flute, like we haven't covered harmonics yet. Like
yeah,
if we haven't covered like a basic flute fundamental, like how do you expect them to play like high notes like afterward?
for sure.
So like that's just part of it that I'm still trying to figure out too is like what parts do you, at what point do you just be like all right that scale sounds fine for 6th grade.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know if it's like a me thing, if I missed it in college,
Yeah.
if it wasn't gone over in college, as far as like that middle school percussion pedagogy
Yeah,
of like what it is that we're supposed to cover.
I mean like I got I feel like the pedagogy I got was like for high school in my percussion methods class. It's kind of like for
Same.
like high school drumline kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And granted, like some of the like I was looking online at some like different like packets and stuff from like Midwest. There was one on beginner percussion, and I saw they were taking eights, but turning eights into quarter notes, or taking double beat and turning double beat into quarter notes.
Yeah.
And like that kind of stuff is like we never like think to do it because we want to like get to it, but you can always like scale that stuff down.
Yeah.
Like scale
yeah.
the,
Just metronomic,
yeah.
like toying with the metronome or just like blowing out the exercise.
That was one thing I got. Darcy Williams was talking about doing half met,
Yeah.
and like I forgot to do that in like I do it in jazz band.
Yeah.
Like I put the met on 2 and 4, or like if I'm being real mean, I put it on 4, like because that's I'm like oh yeah that makes I do it in jazz. Why don't I do that in regular band?
Yeah.
And I was like oh, I can just do that. But something I am going to do this year is I'm going to use. Do you know the app Drum Genius?
No of it.
Yeah, I'm going to use that app for warm up sometimes to like increase that feeling of subdivision.
Yeah.
And then take it away, and eventually get to the point of half met. So you get like, hey kids, we need to subdivide. You're having fun subdividing? All right, cool. All right, you still subdividing? Okay.
Yeah, that's my favorite exercise to do. I didn't do it this week with the drum line, but the exercise Juggernaut or Jedi, whatever you have for if you top bass drums, it's you play 1/8 note, and you move it over an eighth note each bar.
Okay.
Right, so 1 and 1, 2 and a 2, so on and so forth. Till you get to the end of the bar, and then it's and 1 at the end.
Yeah.
And then you crank tempo. You're going like get it up to maybe 160.
Yeah.
And then you go half tempo. Then you just go beat 1. Oh, wild thought process. Boom. Ooh. Oh. Like it's like I didn't even think about this because one of my girls was having a significant time struggling having to count and move her feet. Just could not do it.
Just getting get the concept of like do.
And I mean she's and the reason why I put her on baseline is because she's not a bad musician. She understands like how to count functionally.
Yeah.
But the idea of playing, splitting an eighth note passage
Right.
with your feet, and you're not playing every other note. Like
Yeah.
I forget that that's like a difficult thing.
Something that I like. I say I didn't get anything from TVA. I went to Jose Diaz had a clinic from MacArthur High School.
Okay.
He's a pretty good jazz band. But he had a clinic on jazz stuff, and a lot of his I think a lot of his pedagogy comes from I think he's he's either Puerto Rican or he might be Mexican. I don't know. But he was like he was talking about Afro-Cuban
Yeah.
music a lot, or he could be Cuban. I don't know.
He's some kind of brown.
Yeah, some kind of brown. With the last name like Diaz and the first name Jose, and like,
Who'd have guessed?
but he was talking about Afro-Cuban music and what he had us do. We were doing this chant thing, and then he had us get up and he had us like dance with it. And that's something that like I didn't like think about. It's like, oh, to get kids to like understand like rhythm, or if they don't have like inherent rhythm like in their feet or
Yeah.
in their body, sometimes you just have to like dance and chant for a while, because some of them just don't get it. Like if I'm listening to like granted, if I listen to like a lot of Drake's music, I can't really dance to Drake's music, and that's what kids are listening to.
Yeah.
So you're just like, we got to get you some more rhythmic, like some more rhythmic music. Granted, I can't dance like that well, but I have some form of
You have a
rhythm
sense
in
of
my body, like
rhythmic interpretation, and
Right.
you understand how beat works, and
right. But some of these kids don't. So that's a part of it. You might just have to like put on some like
Yeah.
music and just jam to like,
yeah,
like quarter notes.
absolutely. And this is the thing that was like super frustrating about this week. Like I was saying, I got so gassed from the first day, just because
Yeah.
I balled out so much on Monday on such little sleep that I got to Tuesday and just like absolutely died. Felt like death.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Just could not. I couldn't like so much so like usually like if I'm looking a little rough, the kids will be like, "Hey man, you good?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah man," just kind of a little out of it. And I'm like, "Yeah, all right." And then like we kind of go on through the day, but no, it was like
They know something.
every break they were like, "No, like we could if you need a second to like lay down, we could run it."
They can interpret like
Yeah.
like where you're at. Yeah.
And I was just like, "Dude, I don't know what's going on." My body was just shutting down because that happens.
Yeah, you can't gas yourself. That's the
Can't gas yourself like that. But I couldn't. I was stuck in this thought process of these kids are here. They need to, in order for like I was thinking all longevity stuff.
Yeah.
Which is one of those things that like I forced myself like last year to like, all right, don't worry about what you're doing right now. Like, what's the end goal?
yeah.
So like keep thinking of that. And that affected how I taught drumline camp this year because the kids were stepped down.
Yeah.
Majority of the kids are stepped down, but the kids that I put on the snare line obviously step up because those are the higher level musicians
Right.
supposedly. So I'm trying to think of where they're supposed to be at like on the longevity scale.
Yeah.
So I'm like, they need to be here by Wednesday, but the bass drums they're back here, so they need to be here. And I was like, I don't have anybody to help and tag in
Right.
to split them up. So
Yeah, that's the part. That's the problem with that whole like start with the end in mind mindset. It's good for like goal planning, but also you need to be like, where are they at right now?
Yeah.
That's something else I heard. You just hear the same stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, like yeah, that's definitely a part you have to like be like, okay, I know where I want them to be at. Where are they actually right now? And how can I modify like where they're gonna be at, or how can I like maybe like slow down the chunks or speed them up or something like that. Yeah, because I know that feeling of like I'm hoping they're gonna be okay, and then like I remember last year my band I was like, oh, you like borderline forgot how to hold your instrument. Like,
Oh no.
okay, cool. Like you can't play an eighth note right now. That's
Yeah.
not good.
And like I mean, I never. It's a weird back and forth that we have to do.
Yeah.
To where you have to be like so ready to teach what is in front of you,
Right. Yeah. Gotta be in the moment, like some.
but
like,
also you have to have an end goal. And I don't know,
Yeah.
like I don't think I've found that.
Yeah, I
that
think
medium.
the art of teaching is balancing that.
Yeah.
Is like balancing like where they're at right now, and like if you got to teach them, if you got to teach them like eighth notes or something like that, then like got to teach them eighth notes right now.
Yeah.
Like, but if you want to, if you want to get to somewhere, you're like, okay, we have that goal in mind. we can't get there until we learn this basic skill.
Yeah.
So might as well teach this basic skill right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where the art of teaching comes into play. Because a lot of people, like including myself, I will oftentimes sort of like just skip over steps. I'll either skip over steps or get too locked into a step. Because I'm like, if I skip over it, it's like a thing of like, we got to get to this. Like,
Yeah.
like I know you're not ready for it, but we got to get to it.
Yeah.
And like if I get stuck in it, I'm like, you're not ready for it. You're not ready for it. Sometimes they also have to try it out too. So, that's a part of it. That's the balance.
Yeah.
It's a hard balance. I don't know if I'll ever be. We've gotten better at that.
Yeah.
We've gotten better.
We've gotten better. It's just, it's one of the.
It'll be a mystery until we're like so wise.
Teaching is so frustrating. Teaching is just so frustrating because it's just like being a musician, where the more you know, the more you realize like you don't know like anything.
Right.
Like every time like I get to like I got to the end of the percussion week and I was like, how the hell did I do this my first year?
Right.
Like,
because back then you had the energy to be like, I'm just gonna go do the thing.
yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna do it.
Right.
And now it's like I know what I'm supposed to do. I ain't got the energy to do that though, man. Like
Right.
I know what I want to do. I know all these things, and it's like I keep telling the kids like we're back to a full schedule this year.
Right.
And like partially it's like get them mentally ready, but also partly is get me mentally.
Yeah.
Not looking forward to going to away games, dog.
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
It's gonna be your Fridays are now gone. Yeah,
Just completely like every Friday's gone until December.
I mean, my whole thing with this year, in particular, I couldn't like hear myself. My whole thing with this year is, like, doing like the band thing, of course, but also I was talking with, I was rooming with Ben for TBA.
Yeah.
My buddy Ben. I was trying to get him out here. We tried to get him out here, but it was
Tried to.
timing thing.
Timing, schedules, blah blah blah.
But my big thing is I'm going to keep refueling myself like throughout the year because that's something I feel like I tend to not do.
Absolutely.
Because I'll tend to be like, just like you can see it on the podcast too because
Yeah.
there's times where we're just like gassed and we're just be
man.
like
Just
and
absolutely
just
dead
like
on the
griping
inside.
about it.
Yeah.
But like I mean that's when you go to the movies. That's when you like watch a cool show, paint a picture, like like feel yourself.
It's just it's one of those weird things that the reason why we've gotten as good as we got is because we didn't do that at first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like being because in college you didn't think about like those weekends you spent with boys,
right?
like going chilling with your brothers or going to your buddy's family for Thanksgiving. Like you didn't think of that as like a refueling thing. It was just like, oh cool, like I get a little break.
Right.
But like back then it was just like go 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 go, and now it's like you're just like, oh this is the struggle that I'm having where it's like you need to go do that. I need to like the reason why I got to where I'm at is because I never stopped doing stuff.
Right.
But now I'm realizing like when you never stop doing stuff, you're gonna die.
Yeah, yeah. Like the first like 3 years, especially through like all the stuff we went through, like we're just kind of dragging ourselves through the mud.
Yeah.
Like just like kind of kicking and screaming the entire time. Like, oh, I hate this. And wait a minute. Well, on YouTube, it just jumped in.
Well, now that you're joining us with the visual, I had a feeling this entire time too. Damn it.
I was thinking.
It's about.
Huh?
It's about 30 minutes.
30 minutes of it. Yeah.
Well.
We don't have a third. It's weird.
Anyways, no, I've definitely thought about a lot of the same thing, like making sure that I cut those times out for myself.
Yeah, because that was something.
I've never done.
Yeah, never done, and then I feel like over the summer which we were talking about this earlier. Like I tried to like cram all of that stuff
Yeah.
into the summer, and
And now you're gassed from that.
I'm exhausted from like trying to refuel. Like you ever like I'm the car with the I'm sure you've seen like a video of like a car getting like overfilled.
Yeah.
Because someone like wasn't paying attention
Yeah.
to it. Like that's where I'm at right now. Where I'm just like I'm full. Like I'm full. I don't need to like
I actually just need to do nothing.
I need to like just work for a little bit and just not.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a part of it that you like. That's one of my goals, like kind of for this year, is to like take time to refuel, and not just like grind,
Yeah.
like fall dead.
Have you thought about what that looks like for you? Because also knowing yourself, like me knowing you and me knowing who I am, like got to be kind of like a scheduled fun.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely like a scheduled fun. Like I'm the way I picture like my kind of refueling time is like number one, I got to go to the movies. I have to go to the movie theater. Going somewhere like going to like a new restaurant or like whenever we went to Salt Lake, I was like I felt a little like
That was cool. Yeah,
energized after
that was nice to like. I liked that because it was.
because it was
It,
random.
it was an
random.
unplanned plan.
Yeah, it was
We
kind
were
of
like,
random.
we're
just-
gonna go get food,
right,
and it's gonna be barbecue.
right.
That place closed. Damn it. All right, where are we going? Salt Lake is what 25 minutes away or whatever
Yeah.
it was. Yeah.
So you wind up getting some of the best barbecue I've ever had.
Yeah, it's fantastic barbecue. Shout out Salt Lake.
Yeah, in Austin.
A little disappointing in the sides, but
Meat was worth it.
solid meat.
But yeah, like that kind of stuff, like doing that kind of stuff.
We need to go to that spot with the old lady. Out, it's an hour away. It was on
Oh, the old lady who does the she like makes her fire at like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah, that place. Yeah.
We need to go to that place.
Yeah, but yeah, like taking time to do that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, and like dates and stuff like that. Like just try to make your life as like as interesting as you possibly can in the time you have.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause
Like-
we don't have to do that.
Connor told me about this, and I've been really romanticizing it in my head. Oh, excuse me. I just got like food. I just kind of like it's not a heartburn. but just, like,
Indigestion,
I guess that's what it's called.
because you're not literally digesting it.
Yeah. Anyways, that's super gross. I apologize. But he told me that when he was down in Miami, there was this dude in the neighborhood that he lived in that he said like once every 2 weeks, once a month. May have been just every weekend.
Yeah.
He would just bring his grill out to his front yard, set up like two like shitty bar stools
Yeah.
on like a pop-up bar, put out like a chalkboard of like, this is what I'm cooked today. A rack of ribs, $25. Like, and then just like sell food in his front yard.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that would be super dope
Yeah.
for me.
For you.
Like that,
For me, that sounds like a lot of work.
for me that
But
sounds.
you would get enjoyment.
Yeah,
out of
I would
that,
get
like-
enjoyment of that. Just like posting up, just like, and it wouldn't have to be anything special. Just like, because that's also tied into. He showed me this pop-up burger spot called Dirty Larry's, and their food is so tried and true that there's no menu. It's just like, we're gonna be here on Saturday. They do pre-sale and pop-ups, and the pre-sale always sells out like day of. But then the pop-up, it's just like, we're gonna be here, $15 for the burger. The day before, they'll tell you what it's gonna be, and that's the only thing that they make.
Wow.
And it just like, dude, hell yeah. Like, being so undeniable that just like, people are okay with spending $15 on just a burger. No sides, nothing.
Oh, just a burger. Wow.
Just the burger.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was a good ass burger too. So just something like that, I think would be super dope. And I was thinking about trying to force that once a month. Um, working on the car, working on the
Yeah.
Miata is I've really romanticized this idea of just like stopping what I'm doing, going out in the garage, turning the fan on, and just like sanding my car.
Yeah. Because it's not like, because when you're doing that kind of stuff, you're not, number one, you're not taking like mental energy for like work.
Yeah.
Like no mental energy is going towards work at all in those moments. That stuff is good. That stuff is good. Like it's good for you to like, because I know me, like I would spend like weekends just day after day after day just like thinking about like how do I get this thing, or like working on my fundamentals book, or what, like, granted I wouldn't have gotten it written if I didn't spend the time doing that stuff, but
Like that's what I'm saying. It's this weird mix that we have to do of.
Well, I mean, to me, like I don't even know if it's necessarily like entirely necessary that we did all that stuff, because we could have not.
Could have not.
Like,
who's to say it would have been better or worse?
Right. Yeah.
One way or the other.
Yeah. But
like we did it there, we can't change that.
We are where we are now. But yeah, like I'm really focusing on just finding time to just like step back and like not be about the job for a second. That way, whenever you do come back to it, you can like really be about it.
Yeah.
Because there's days where I'm often not about it, and I feel like that. I feel like if you don't take a day off, you're not gonna ever get to that point where like you are super about it all the time.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. I think this is gonna be an interesting year.
Yeah.
Development wise, like we've talked about before, this is our first regular year. Like our first regular year is our fourth year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that's.
Yeah, it is also a benefit. Yeah.
It's like there's some normalcy in the year, hopefully.
I was so excited to think about. Like I thought about that yesterday. I was like, this is gonna be like just a normal year.
It should just be a normal year.
Like all the way.
Should just be a normal year.
Yeah, should just be
Don't talk about it too much.
Should just be
Don't talk about it too much. Your boy's mad superstitious.
But yeah, like,
I distinctly believe I'm not in my house right now because I told it to too many people.
Maybe so.
Yeah. I just and I was even super cautious how I said. I was like, best case scenario, end of this week. I was at the wedding, so I was like, hopefully by this time next week, I'm in the house. They're like, dude, that's super awesome. Congrats. And I've never been somebody that ever gets congratulations without doing something, and it goes well for me.
Yeah, you gotta like wait till you have it ready to go.
Gotta wait. So, I talk about it on the podcast, but all of 70 people listen, maybe, all said and done.
I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe highballing that number. That being said, hopefully.
But yeah, like
hopefully so.
this feels like a year where, like, a lot of us can really, really thrive. Because like we're not fighting much, like last year I was fighting teaching. I was like,
it felt like everything was a fight.
Like I was like, I don't want to do one more bit of like asynchronous. We got to check attendance this way. Like everything felt so painful to do.
You get to take attendance normal again. I didn't think I was ever gonna look forward to that.
Yeah, you just get to like hit a button and like be like, "Are you all here? Okay, you're all here."
Cool.
Boom. Like
don't have to. Yeah, just that. It felt like that one meme where it's like, all right, time to go find my emotions. Man, these emotions got hands. It just everything felt like that. Just every day you come home, you're like, damn, life has hands.
Yeah, like everything.
Try again tomorrow.
Everything felt awful to do. Like it was so bad, but now we get to
hopefully
get to live life.
Get to be nice and smooth with it, and you know, it really felt a little different this like when I was at percussion camp this week.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Where it's just like this is 100% my kids
Yeah.
now. Like officially, this is 100% my kids. That being said, this group of seniors does not feel like the seniors at all. Like in my head, you're still like a freshman that I had to teach how to like count.
Right.
Like, what do you mean? You want to go take that kid to go help him count? You don't know how to. Oh wait, no.
You do know.
You do know how to count.
Yeah,
I guess, yeah, go take him.
That's kind of a weird feeling. Like I felt that from like the 6th graders I had that were 8th graders. I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? You can go teach them. Oh wait, you can. Forget about that.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling, man. It's
Yeah.
definitely a weird feeling, but it's definitely cool to see like the consistency payoff.
Yeah. Yeah, you can kind of see that steady progression, like work to finally. That's got to be a good feeling.
Yeah, it is, man. It definitely is. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes, man. We'll see how the show goes.
Do you have any like? This is something I'm like trying to do for the first time. Do you? No, we talked about this like goals for the year. You talked about that with Duran. Like you.
Yeah. I mean I'll call them like the selfish goals.
Sure.
We go to 2 drumline competitions. I want a placement and a caption at each one.
Okay.
Feel like it's very manageable.
Sure.
I'll settle for one or the other.
Yeah.
But like, big goal. If I got 2, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Having a complete indoor season.
Yeah. Yeah.
That I feel good about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the first
do you
year.
do you know if you're are you trying to do other stuff?
What do you mean?
Are you trying to do like WGI or whatever?
I'm not, I would like to do another WGI show for the
Yeah.
exposure, but the only WGI show is Houston, as far as I know.
Wow.
And that's just kind of like this year's really packed with doing stuff as it is. Like we're going to Gin in Dallas, so that's gonna be.
Oh, y'all going to Gin?
Yeah, we are going to Gin, and then we've got our.
I forget Gin's in Dallas. It's close.
This year, we're doing a Disney trip, or I think we're doing a
Florida trip. Yeah.
Florida trip. I don't know if we're going Disney or Universal. I don't know if that's been decided yet, but doing the Florida trip, and then like, so there's a couple things that are like pretty heavy out of pocket.
Yeah.
But I'm just like trying to mitigate that.
Yeah, you gotta kind of back up and just. But I mean, that's to me, that's your chance to like. All right, we're gonna focus on like show music right now, and then when that stuff like lines up, then it's like okay, cool. We can now like then you can now see the target and
Exactly.
And the way, yeah, I know that feeling.
So I try to aim for those three goals a year. So I'll place the drumline award.
Yeah.
That's tied into one. Having a normal indoor season. And then meeting the same level of on solo ensemble and region.
Yeah.
4 kids for region. 11 kids made a one.
Yeah.
For solo ensemble. So the studio didn't change that size too much. I think I got in the grand scheme of things, I have like 1 more kid than I did last year.
That's good.
No. Yes. Exact same number. Exact same number of kids, actually. So like, there's no reason that like I can't at least get that same. Yeah, at least the same. And I already told the kids, I'm like, yo, we got 4. We're not getting less than 4. We got 11. We're not getting less than 11. Like,
right.
It's you guys gotta do your part out here. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
See how that goes. But yeah, what are you trying to do?
I mean, big things personally. I'm recording myself teaching once a week.
Ooh. Rough.
Yeah. I mean, it's just something that I abandoned like once I got, because you have to set up a camera and stuff.
Yeah.
Like you have to set up, and you have to watch the footage.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do that like once a week, like
Okay.
with my band, just like set up and watch myself teach. That's like a once a week thing, just to like see what I'm doing and like really understand it.
Yeah. That makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
With now depending on the size of my jazz band, I would like to like record them for a festival. But again, that depends on
Who knows?
I know I have a bass player and a saxophone player. Don't know about the rest.
Oof.
The kids sign up for it. It's always kind of a surprise who's in it.
Who's actually able to land the spot.
Yeah, but we're gonna hope I don't have to play drums and piano next year. We're gonna hope for that. And I think some of the beginning percussionists they seemed excited about.
I definitely see. I was gonna say the kid that moved. Julius.
Oh yeah.
Julius seemed like he was super down. And moved. Damn it.
Yeah, but like they all like I didn't ask too much because I hate. It sounds weird. I hate like getting in their faces about being like, "Are you doing jazz band?
Yeah.
Are you doing?" Because it feels like I want them to like want to do it, but I feel like you definitely have to do some of that first, and that's.
No, you
I think I'm
1,000% have to do that.
Yeah.
What the hell, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to recruit, Bubba.
No, you have to recruit, but the way I recruit is more like you should sign up for jazz band. It's not really like getting in their faces and being like, hey, like, oh no, there's a couple of kids I did like ask them like, hey, you should do jazz band.
Yeah.
But there was never like I don't like I don't ask every single student like.
How's that working out for you?
Not so good. Not so good.
The same, man. Duran had that jazz band of, I don't know, like 17 one year. Obviously, scheduling is different, but
yeah.
I mean, just being around Duran at the high school, like, no, he's like, hey, so you're doing jazz, right? Yeah? No? All right. Well, I'm gonna sign you up anyways, and then we'll test it out.
And that's definitely what I need to do is like because the amount of like, granted the whole double block thing like, but
Garbage.
I think last year I only had like 10, 15 kids that could actually be in jazz band, but that's 5 more than I had. So,
yeah.
But I would like to record them for some kind of
That'd be cool, man.
festival or something. I don't really have like goals for like scores at UIL. Like you have them in your mind,
Of course.
like, but
I mean,
really my big thing this year is like I mentioned before, like the 7 exercises. I want to like get every single kid in my band to be good at those 7 exercises to a certain like extent.
Yeah.
To get every single kid like listen to them all the time and really like, refine each one of their skills, and then to me that kind of stuff translates to like whatever scores you want. Like if your kids are really, if my kids are like really skilled and they don't really have to struggle to like play the music, when you hand them that like grade 1, like they're just like, this is easy.
Yeah.
Like this, that would be the ideal, is that they get to the UIL music and they're just like, this is easy.
Yeah.
And we play it and they're like, okay, cool, let's balance it. I'm gonna bring in clinicians and stuff like that now. Be like, all right, this is like great. I don't know.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not going for. I think I used to think like I was going for too easy, but now I'm going for like what is attainable, like for them, attainable, and then after that, like I was as a pedagogue myself, I want to understand how to get to that level, and then start building on that, like get harder after that. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So
that's definitely what I thought about last year with the percussion ensemble concert.
Right.
It's kind of just why I threw so much dang music at them. Was just like, I don't actually know where everybody's at with learning this type of music.
Right.
So this is ballpark where I think your playing ability should be at. See if you figure it out.
Right.
You didn't figure it out. Damn it.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So take note of that. Oh, you did figure that out. Oh, cool. You actually learned. Oh, damn. You're like actually throwing down. All right, cool.
So yeah, and that's something you got to kind of figure out like throughout the year, is like, where are you actually at with this?
Yeah. And I think I did that because I'm usually so OCD with just like very like pinpoints of of where you're at. That I'm just like, I just need to see. Like let me see how much work you could actually do on your own.
Yeah. Yeah, but giving them time to figure it
Yeah,
out.
yeah. And it's a different setting as opposed to like the solos that I hand out.
Yeah.
Right, those are, there's no the only negative side effect. That's not the word I'm looking for, but the
Downside?
I guess downside. The only downside of doing poorly at the solo is that you did poorly at the solo. It's not that like there's some weight of like, if you don't learn your part, this ensemble's getting cut,
right?
And then you just wasted these other 6 dudes.
You don't learn your solo. You just wasted your own time.
Yeah, you just wasted your own time.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how that carries into this year.
Translates, yeah.
Yeah. What?
I mean, hopefully it translates to a lot more kids are willing to work solo. like ideally that would be the mindset. Is that every kid has that mindset of like, I need to work on my part.
I'll tell you what, man. Not even thinking about it. Just thought about it right now. I think it opened up the 4 kids that I have on snare. I think it opened up their ears, and it opened up their ears, and sound quality is like.
By playing like mallet stuff or like.
No, just on snare drum.
Oh,
like,
okay.
But because we did the perk ensembles, like on the first day, like they were making comments of like, this sounds different.
Right.
And like they were able to hear like this, we're playing with a fatter sound than we have on day one in years past. A majority of the year in years past, like on day one on 8s, and I was like, and as I was in it, I was like, yeah, dude, cool. Like you heard that, dope. Yeah, it's definitely different. And now that I'm like thinking about it, like, oh, like that might be just like
they were focused more like more like individually.
Yeah. Previously, they were thinking. I think it's really easy to think of marching band, even though you're part of the entire system.
Yeah.
You're an individual person.
Right.
And you don't think about what the entire section sound is. You don't think about what the ensemble sound is.
Yeah, you're just trying to make it.
You're just trying to make it out, but with being in a quartet.
They're thinking, I'm a part of a group.
I'm part of a group. I cannot kick this cough either.
Yeah, that's the cool thing I like about chamber music is that like, in chamber music, everyone's a soloist.
Yeah.
And they're all so now they're all like, you have 4 soloists on snare that are all like they're all able to like, all right, I'm doing good. I'm gonna listen to my neighbor, and like they're able to think that way. They're able to
and because of that, I'm able to make different levels of comments too.
Yeah,
which is really cool.
Yeah,
it's like blending, fitting into the sound. Like when I make comments of like. When I make the comment of the sound isn't as fat as it was, like they actually know what that means.
Right.
Like they can hear it. It's like, oh yeah, no, like I'm super thin on when I go into this part of the exercise, but then when I'm out of it, it's like back to being that nice full stroke. Oh, okay.
They're being like artist about it.
Yeah.
Man, if I could do a whole I wish I could just restructure how I do band and just do a whole 6 weeks of like chamber music. So like, because you learn to be both an amazing soloist with like artistic like interpretation and stuff like that, and you also learn how to be like a great like ensemble player like with the fellow musicians around you. When you're in full band, you're thinking about like how you're doing as a soloist, but you're also kind of like, I'm just in a full like 60-piece band. Like that's just how it
playing some notes.
That's just how it goes. When you're in a chamber group, there's like if you mess up. Or if you don't like interpret something the right way, you're like, kind of ruins the.
If you miss a cue and your cue sets up their cue, like, but
because you're not independent, yeah. Don't talk to you about that. That's the words that triggered me. The last time I like played in a major concert, it wasn't. I guess second to last time. kid, like, percussionist. He was a college student. He messed up on this, like, cue. And then I was just like, what? Oh, I'm going now. Yeah, that was
awesome.
No. I was like, no. The funny thing is, the week before, someone complimented me on that solo. They were like, "But I love hearing you play I love hearing you play that every single time." I'm like,
of course.
Oh, thank you. And then they had the concert. I was just like,
fold like laundry.
But yeah, like when you can work on like understanding that your part is important.
Yeah. That's such a wild concept. That statement. Understanding that your part is important.
Yeah.
Like actually understanding that statement is 90% of it.
Wow, yeah. Kind of.
Yeah.
That's like how do you even teach, like, I guess you do like chamber music, like how else do you teach that? Like how else do you teach, like, hey, what you do is important, like
The Curtis was talking about with the kids because of how quick auditions come in the spring.
Yeah.
I don't audition the front ensemble.
Yeah.
I just audition. I really only have time to audition drumline, and then like I tell everyone like, yo, so just like whoever shows up and throws down when we get to percussion camp, they'll get the spots accordingly.
Yeah.
For front ensemble. So we decided on them, and then naturally 2 freshmen ended up on rec. And it's 2 kind of kids that are, again, as it goes, they're not bad kids.
Yeah.
But always been in middle school they're a little wishy-washy.
Yeah.
As it goes. Again, it's kind of the nature of it. But I wrote a tambourine part for one of the warm-ups, and when the girl was just like, can you even hear tambourine like when you're in stadium?
1,000%.
And Curtis was like, yeah. 1,000%.
Yeah.
So you're just like, here. Like he gave it to one of the other kids. It was 3 of them. He gave it to one of the other kids who was just like, just keep playing quarter notes. And they just walked down the hall, like all the way through the fine arts building, like almost to the cafeteria, and they were just like, oh wow, I can
still hear
the tambourine.
Percussion's loud.
Percussion's so loud.
Yeah. If you play a triangle from a certain
Yeah.
distance, it's like, what's that ringing?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, getting the kid to understand that their part is actually important.
Yeah, that's a big. And I feel like that's definitely a percussionist like mindset is like, even though you're playing the tambourine part or you're playing that the concert bass drum part, like your part's in like.
It's so easy to feel bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you're not playing a melody.
You're just like, I don't want to play in the main part. It's
Yeah.
like, when you're not playing your part, it's we're kind of missing a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard concept to get.
Yeah.
And like it's not independence, because you can be independent, and I guess it's like. I mean, the way I always think about it is, and it's one of my old mentors taught me this, was every kid in band is either a 0, a positive 1, or a negative 1. They're either literally doing nothing, and like there's no positive impact, there's no negative impact, you're just kind of there. You are contributing to the sound, or like, contributing sound,
Yeah.
like blend, balance, all that stuff, or you are taking away from it. And getting them to realize that you can be on either side is, because you would ideally, like, how big is your front ensemble? Like 15?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. If you get like plus 15, like a score of plus 15, it's like great, like fantastic.
Awesome.
That would be ideal. Is that
Yeah.
like every kid is thinking, it was the Boston Crusaders like synth girl, just like just playing
Fat
synth chords,
yeah.
and she's just like in it. It's like, you're not really doing much. Like, you don't have to be that much of a artiste while you're holding down
Your fat open Hans
right.
chords, yeah.
Because she could have just been like
Beep.
and would have had the same like musical effect.
Yeah.
But no, she decided to go all out and decided to be a +1 and wound up being like borderline like viral because she's being
Still
crazy.
remember about it. Yeah.
But yeah, being +1 is that's the ideal.
Everybody's +1.
Ideally.
Ideally.
Some people are definitely negative ones. Yeah. I know of too many kids that have been in band. I've just been like, why are you being a negative? Like, why? Like, because that never crossed my mind to just like take away from something.
Yeah.
Just like you're in something and you're just like, I'm gonna like not contribute to this at all, or like, I mean, well, I've not contributed to something, but I haven't like been like, I'm gonna like take something away.
Actively
from this.
make this worse.
Like I'm gonna distract someone, or I'm going to play with like a horrible sound, or like if I'm working on something, I'm gonna be like I'm gonna write a dumb part of the paper. Like that's never crossed my mind. So when it does happen, when someone does it, I'm like, what, why? Why are you doing that to yourself?
Stop it. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully it's a good year, man. I'm hopeful that it will be a good year.
Should be. Yeah.
Should be.
Should be.
Fingers
Like
crossed.
maybe like, hopefully the Delta variant doesn't. Whatever. We're all out here.
I think we're straight.
We're good.
I think we're straight about that.
Yeah. I was getting weird about that, but then I realized I was like, we're fine. It's gonna be okay.
Anyways, anything else from TBA?
I'm stalling for time as I get up my guidebook app.
Fair enough.
I also love the guidebook app. Love it.
Truly a game changer.
Like it changed the. There would be times where like I remember the first times I went to TBA, I was just like roaming around and just like.
I couldn't tell you if I went to any clinics the first like 3 years I went to.
Like I would just be like,
TBA.
wait, that's you're going to a thing like. Okay, and I just kind of like walked into a building and just like hoped it was the right place. And now I'm like, oh, I can, I have like reason to be at places. Let's see, that was bad. That was good. I have their books already. The jazz thing. Oh, I went to a clinic, Katie Van Doren. From Vandegrift, the assistant Vandegrift. She had a clinic about, it was called Love Your Job, progressing your career without leaving your position. It's about like, you're an assistant band director. How are you going to progress your job? I'm like, it's something I just didn't like think about. It's like, my job can get better. Like,
Yeah.
like my job doesn't have to be, like the bare minimum, so to speak.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a good refresher of stuff to just be like, you can increase like I stopped playing in one of the community bands around here because it was kind of taking a lot of energy out of me. And I was just like, I wasn't getting much. Like I talked about like fueling myself earlier.
Yeah.
I wasn't getting much fuel from it. It was more of a drag. But it was the thing. It was like, I mean, maybe I should go like do that again. Like maybe I should go. But it was just nice to hear someone be like, yes, you're like, because I often think of my job being an assistant at a like assistant middle school band director. I often feel like my job is not valued / like necessary. So I have to like, kind of justify it like to myself and to people and be like, no, I do stuff like, but now I like, thinking of that, so I'm like, okay, I need to like push my job forward. I want to make this job like harder for the next guy or whatever.
Yeah.
Be like, oh man, he was doing like a lot because I mean this last year I was kind of doing like,
Pretty base level stuff and
enough to get me by. It wasn't anything bad. It wasn't like taken away.
Yeah, I mean, to no fault, little fault of your own. I mean,
yeah, it's just the like
hard to add when, you don't have much of a class to begin with.
Right, yeah, when you have like 2 kids in a class and you're like 2 kids in a class and then a third one shows up halfway through the year, you're just like, so I got to teach you everything. Okay.
All right.
I guess I can't do the social media stuff right now because Johnny doesn't know quarter notes. Yeah, that's something I won't have to deal with this year. So, but yeah, I can definitely. I definitely took some stuff from there, being like, she talked a lot about like, that was the like where a lot of the refueling stuff like also came from, was the idea of just like, you need to, like, number one, like take some time for yourself to be like good, but also take time to like learn on your own and like be like, hey, I'm gonna like, I pulled out my my flute etude book and I'm like, I looked at the all-state etudes this year. I was like, I can learn those. I have that book and like I played through them today. I was like, I can learn these. The third one's hard on flute. It's hard.
Yeah.
To 12/8 and it's all 16 notes.
Oh my god.
Well, 16 notes with like mordants in it, like. Yeah, I was like, oh.
What are we doing, man?
I was like, oh, okay, we're doing this. But like that kind of stuff is like, I'm like, oh, I can take the time to do that stuff. I can learn that stuff. Try to focus on social media this year, with like my school and stuff like that, and really push out, work on this podcast and work on things that, work on some stuff that isn't just my day to day. Like, or that,
I feel that.
So stuff that I guess that was just my day to day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Hell yeah, man.
But yeah, that was a good clinic to hear about that stuff. And there was some other ones that were just kind of like, yeah, cool. Dude. There was one I went to. It was just like, what's the point of this? Are we just here to just watch someone with a name talk?
Nah.
I think we are.
Those are fun.
They just talked for an hour, and it was just like,
That's it.
maybe I got something from that. Like, there wasn't a clinic I walked away from where I felt like I got absolutely nothing from it. But there was some where I was definitely like, did you really need to give this talk?
Who was this for?
Yeah, who
Was it for us or your ego?
That's a thing. Because I feel like some people need ego checks at TBN.
Oh, absolutely.
They need some like.
Why do you think it's a larger part of why I hate the names of almost all the clinics?
Oh, because people think they're gonna like change the world with the fact that they're like, do a Remington.
Yeah, just tell me that it's okay to have off days. That's all I need from you.
Right.
Don't go through this like paragraph of a title about mental health. No, just like hey, you're gonna get tired.
Yeah. That's gonna be your.
Thanks, bud.
That's gonna be your TV title.
Hey,
you're gonna get tired.
You're gonna get tired.
Hey, chill out.
Chill out. Come back. Yeah, that you want to talk about? Definitely a life goal is to put a clinic on a TMA at some point in time.
I don't know what. I have nothing that mine's gonna be about. Because I feel like the way I want to teach is going to be so diverse of like doing jazz stuff, doing classical, chamber music. Like, I want to do all this stuff, so it's like I have nothing. I'm like, granted, I should like teach a conducting clinic eventually, but because I can clinic that stuff.
You need a master's first, Bubba.
I do.
Ain't nobody gonna believe shit that you do.
I do. I just need to go to.
And even then, you kind of need a doctorate.
Well, cause I went to the conducting work because they always have those like conducting workshops.
Yeah, I never go to the workshops. They're always.
I'm signing up for them. Like, because.
I mean, I should, but there's always like it's always like a workshop, and then there's just like, it always lands on like the one percussion thing.
Yeah.
that they have. I'm like, oh, I can't miss the.
Right.
It's a 4-day clinic, and I only get one percussion thing. I can't miss that.
Right. But the I walked into it a couple times and I was just like there were some times where Kevin Sutterdall or whoever's like working with the person is like they're up there conducting something. I'm just like I could have told him that. Like, Yeah, I mean, not to be like cocky, but that's the one thing I'm like cocky about is my hands. I have hands. I know. I'm like the opposite of Ricky Bobby. I know what to do with my hands.
I always know what to do with my hands.
Yeah, exactly. So, if I hands, how do you use them? That's my Team EA title.
Hands. Oh, point aggressively.
Jazz hands. Jazz hands or no?
I would do like I want to do like an importance of the marching arts of percussion.
Well, the importance of it.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone gets that.
No. The overall, tie that into indoor.
Oh, you mean like the importance of like the full season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The title would be something like the importance of the marching arts and percussion, like the two. Because those
Gotta work on that title.
yeah. But I mean, those worlds live separately.
Sure. Yeah.
Like it's just like, oh, he marched snare drum in the fall, and then in the spring he gets to go play bells. Like, okay,
Yeah, because like the percussionist, like, because you guys have like marching band, you have concert bands,
yeah,
ish, and then you have like solo and ensemble, and then chambers like percussion concert.
If you're not doing anything extra,
Yeah.
the percussion season's garbage.
Right.
Like, you could still get a good education on saxophone if all you did was marching band, concert band.
Right. Yeah.
But, if you're not doing those extra stuff, if you're not getting the indoor perc ensemble, forcing solo ensemble, forcing
Yeah.
region, like the kid that plays bass 4,
He might be good at that,
he might be good at bass 4.
but that's kind of it.
And then what is he doing in the concert season? Like,
Right. Playing bass, bass drum.
playing bass drum. Maybe he gets an accessory part, like.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and just I don't know, just in general, like a clinic on being a percussion director.
Yeah. No, because no one really understands like.
Nobody. That's this thing. Nobody knows what they're doing, and the people that have been doing it long enough are just like, yeah, bro, it sucks. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
That was when I was student teaching. The percussion director of our like the pattern dude is like the smartest man I know, but he's also like the most like point blank, just like yeah, man, like it sucks. Like you should be better. He like at one point like I was teaching something. He was like, you should be better at that. I was like, Scott, like give me a second. Thank you for telling me that, but also, could you not? No, I need more of that.
everybody needs more of that.
I that's the thing. I learned so much from him because he was just so blunt with me. It's just like, hey, like you should be better at that. Like, because whenever he did compliment me about stuff, it was like, oh, if he's complimenting me,
It's really good.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a Scott Baldwin. That guy, he was great.
Shout out.
Yeah.
That's all I strive to be. It's make you feel bad about yourself most of the time, but then when I give you a compliment, make you feel really, really good.
You're like, are you telling me I did good? Because if you're telling me I did good, I'm doing great.
I'm doing awesome.
Oh man.
I was giving the kids like the leadership a hard time, and the kid that's the brass captain. I don't know what I was doing. I was messing with one kid next to him. And he just had a hat on. I just I'm a dick. I know I am, but I just
you do mess with him a lot.
I just messed with him. I just kept tapping the bill. He's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, just messing with you. I'm on break right now. And you're sitting there, so I'm gonna mess with you. But I for whatever reason, I was just like, one day you'll just be like, because I was messing with a sophomore, and then there's the kid next to him was senior. I was like, one day you'll be like Sean, and I kind of gave him the across the shoulder hug, and he's like, oh my god, that's the probably the only time I'm ever gonna get a hug from B. Oh, I need to cherish this. I was like,
is he being nice to me right now?
it's like
What's happening?
I don't know how to. This is the greatest day and the most confusing moment of my life.
Yeah, that's not the way I operate all the time. I should operate more like I should operate. Well, I'm not a mean spirited person like in general, but I should operate with more like frankness and be like, because I like to soften the blow a little bit.
Yeah,
Like
I know.
It's hard to get that blow of like, hey, that was bad. Well, I do that in the beginning, and I like to think my compliment sandwich extends over the entire year.
Oh my god, I'm stealing that for sure.
In the beginning, it's just super. I'm just like, hey, we're doing good. We're doing all right. We're getting like we're trying our best. I get it. In the middle, I'm like, I don't even know how to talk anymore. I've been talking since I was 2. You took that away from me. That was so bad. I can't even talk. And then by the end of it, I'm like, I love each and every one of you.
You guys are amazing kids. It's been a wonderful year. Thank you for all your hard work. Have a great summer.
And that's how it.
That's 100%. Ish. All right. You put it into words. That's what I am. My compliment sandwich is over the year. Talk about over the bar line.
Yeah.
Full year. That was Adrian, actually. He like complimented me about that.
Yeah.
When we were going over the spring music, the spring concert music, and he was like, "I really appreciate that you just kind of like tell us like exactly what's wrong."
Right. Yeah.
He's like, you know, like there's no fluff. You just like, you tell us what sucked and how to do it better.
Because that some of that fluff stuff is just for like, it's for like ego.
Yeah.
Like it's just like to keep them like, don't get your ego down, don't get your ego down, don't get your ego down. But like some of it, you just need to be like,
no, that was bad. You're supposed to play on 2. You played on 4.
right.
What are we doing?
Right.
Can you count? You know how to count. I taught you how to count, right? Yeah? Cool. So just count 1, 2. Hey, look, you got it. Congratulations.
Like that's like, a lot of it's just, they just, you want to like lift them up as high as you can, but sometimes just to be like, no, like, I said it's on beat 2. It's on beat, count to 2.
I always do that.
What?
Every time. Somebody just completely out. I'm just like, 1, 2, 3.
I can do it.
3. Do you know what 3 is? Yeah. So
Can you do that?
Can you do that?
Let me see.
1, 2, 3. All right, try it with me.
I never thought about doing that. No, it's like
It's because you're not as petty as I am.
no, that just dawned on me as far as like teaching. Like there are 4 beats in a measure: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because some kids will like when I like teach them like about like the fact that there are 4 beats in a measure for 4/4, and they're like, I don't get it, and I'm like, look at your finger, look at your hand, see how you have, take away your thumb, see how you have 4 fingers up here, okay, point to the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, okay, think of your fingers as quarter notes. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, all right. Now go back to the music. Same thing, right? 4 things in a box. Point to the third one.
If you want to get even...
That's the second one. I don't get how you did that.
If you want to get even, bigger with it, you just like, see, there's space between it. So there's stuff that can go here.
Yeah.
Use the space.
You gotta, there's...
Learn to count. Yeah.
Like your finger, I mean, that's not a full amount, I guess if you... I don't even know.
Space there. I don't know, you can... Yeah.
That was something else Darcy did. She had this thing where they play 2 whole notes together,
Yeah.
and then they change the second whole note to like 4 quarter notes, and she'll do this, 4 touching quarter notes.
Oh,
and they just do hand signs at the beginning. They just do 2 whole notes,
Whole note. 4 quarters.
staccatos, accents. They just do that for like hours, like for days. Just literally just playing da 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 da. Like it's like, oh,
Hell yeah.
life is so much easier than we make it out to be.
Oh yeah, dude. I largely function off of hand signs when it comes to drumline.
Yeah,
I just don't like talking.
I don't like talking, but I also because I hate like I remember my first year I didn't have like materials, so I had to explain like exercises and stuff. Like, oh man,
I think that's the large and part difference between you and I is like you're used to having materials because I grew up teching. I didn't get a chance to like here's this packet that like was given to me and I know how to function with it. It's like, no, you got 20 minutes to go teach the kid. Like,
yeah,
you have 20 minutes to get the baseline to figure this out. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, everywhere I taught it was always like, here's the packet, go teach the packet. Like, like it was very much so. I like teaching with materials. It makes
life easier.
It makes me focus on like actually what I'm doing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it was a good, like, good tactic of how I came about teaching, but I got really good at it because I had to.
Right.
Yeah. Still come up with choreo in like 5 minutes, bro. That's all I need.
Yeah, I can't.
Just give me how many counts you need. Play the music for me a couple times. I get you that choreo out.
I gotta write. If I taught any kind of choreo, I have to write it down, think about it.
Nope.
I think I taught like one thing at one point. It was catching up some kids, and even the catching up, I still had to be like, okay, can you write it down for me? Because my body's not. Like I get that this is 7 and 8, but I don't. Getting there is a.
Oh yeah, man! I explain the hell out of some choreography and just all off the top.
Yeah, I can't explain my body. I can't. I can't.
I don't know what I'm doing for myself.
Which is fun because I can explain hands. I can explain. This is the full extent of my explanation. It goes to like
understanding of my body.
Goes
stops
to
at the elbow.
Yeah,
everything past the elbow. No idea what's going on.
It's just there. It's just out there, just standing there, just be as still as possible. I mean, it's my thing with like karaoke of like my nightmare is the guitar solo of a song that I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do?
Step touch, baby. Hell yeah. That's what it's about.
Yeah. Whatever.
Anything else? What else going on in your life, dog?
Nothing much, man. Like I said, I just came back from a month of vacation, which sounds weird. Like a month of just like, but it wasn't vacation in the sense of like I remember on Duran's last episode, he talked about how he's just not going to not going to go anywhere this summer. I was like, that sounds great right now. I thought about that the other day. I was like, man, that sounds fantastic. If I took the last month to just like sit at home, I would be so just like, I'd be itching to go like to work. It'd be like, oh man, I can't wait to get back. Now I'm like I'm ready to go back, but I'm also just exhausted from. I didn't meet my movie goal. I think I've watched like 45 movies. I meant to watch 100, but there's times where you're just like, I can't watch another movie.
Yeah, that's that. I mean, I said that was a wild goal.
I said 100, and I was like, because I had everything like queued up, and I was like, but there's also times where like, like yesterday, I watched this really bad American Pie like. It's called Girls Rules. It's so bad. It's an American Pie spin-off movie. It came out recently. It's very recent, but it was awful.
Sounds
I watched that, but then I watched. Do you know Boogie Nights?
Yeah. Classic.
Yeah. I watched Boogie Nights, and then I watched Space Jam 2, and
wild mix of movies.
I know, but yeah, my emotions were like super low. Oh my, what's happening? Back to nothing. back to complete nothing. Cause Space Jam. Oh my god, that movie was so. Space Jam felt like it had something like back then.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was nostalgia, but like I was like, Space Jam isn't a good movie, but it's not like nothing, like literally nothing. There's moments in there.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything from that movie. Like from Space Jam 2.
I'm not surprised.
Like I don't remember anything. Like the Goon Squad. Like there was nothing to it. It was more just Warner Brothers being like, we have all of this IP. Like, let's just look at it.
Try something with it.
Is that a Matrix? Like it was more of that kind of stuff. But yeah, like having those, like having the energy to do. I had the energy to do that yesterday.
Yeah.
I didn't have the energy to do that. Like, I don't have the energy to do that every day.
No, that's a lot. Did you see the movie Jin?
No. I heard of it.
One of the podcasts I listen to, they keep bringing it up. It's like one of the best movies. Like
Jin.
It's a scary movie.
It's a scary movie.
And it's in a 1-bedroom apartment.
Is it Jin?
Jinn.
NN. Yeah, that was brought up a Korean pop star. There's a 2014 film called Jin, American action horror thriller.
No, I think they said it was pretty recent. Maybe was it DJINN?
Oh yeah, that might Jin or yeah, Jin. I'm not seeing movie. Yeah, 2021 movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this looks like a horror supernatural.
Yeah.
Yeah, a meat boy becomes.
I'm not gonna watch it.
A meat boy becomes trapped in his apartment with a sinister monster after making a wish to fulfill his heart's greatest desire. Jesus.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch that. You can watch it. Tell me how it goes.
That sounds terrifying.
100%.
It's not on any streaming service though.
I thought it was on HBO. No.
Nope, guess I'm not watching it.
Never mind.
I watched The Shining though, so now I have
Classic.
to watch Doctor Sleep now. The Shining wasn't that good. It wasn't that scary. Like it wasn't like scary.
Well, no, it's a thriller.
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be scary.
No, fix your mic. What are you doing?
What? Can you hear me? I thought that was supposed to be scary.
Well, yeah. But it's from, what, 82, 83?
I can't place it right now. Can't place it in my brain.
Yeah, scary was different back then, bro.
Yeah. It's funny watching like older scary movies. I'm just like, what?
You're inundated with red rum, but like the first time, like that was where red rum came from.
Right.
Terrifying, given the context.
But well, like no, like in the actual movie, like it's just like little Billy Torrance. He's just saying red rum. You're just like, it's just some creepy kid just being like.
Yeah, you're okay with that. I'm not okay with that. I will punt that kid across the.
Well, the weird thing about that movie is that a lot of it's not explained.
Yeah.
A lot of it's just kind of like, yep, he went crazy, and that's just how it goes at the Overlook Hotel. He just goes crazy. I always forget, like every time I watch like Family Guy, how much they reference like movies and stuff like that.
All the time, bro.
There's like a whole scene lifted exactly from Boogie Nights, and I was like, wait a minute, they're just doing. Oh my god! Like they just literally do entire scenes.
Yeah.
From movies, you're like, oh, you.
Them and the Simpsons, man, their contracts built different.
Yeah. It's funny. It's weird how they don't get. I guess they don't get in trouble for that because it's parody.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're just like. I wonder how many of those guys like. I guess they watched everything from that era or something. It'd be like us watching like. It'd be us like parodying like. The New Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. A parody of New Girl. It's already
a parody. Yeah.
Is New Girl Millennial Friends? No, it's not Millennial Friends. Is it Millennial Friends? Because I thought Gen X was. Maybe it's like late millennial.
Late millennial.
late millennials.
Early millennials, How I Met Your Mother, I think.
Oh yeah, earlier is Those are kind of three different eras. Friends, How I Met Your Mother, because How I Met Your Mother came like right after. It was like 2005, 2006.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Because it ended in 2012.
yeah, and then New Girl came out like I think around then. That's weird.
I think
They just kind of occupy.
Yeah,
They kind of occupy that space. What have you been watching anything?
Not really. I watched Outer Banks.
Oh yeah,
Saw that.
yeah. How was that?
Pretty good show.
Good.
Interesting show. Yeah, nothing crazy, but
Yeah, I heard some good stuff about it.
good. I haven't been really watching anything else, to be honest with you, man. I've been.
I get that after work, you don't really want to
So fried that I'm not trying to get new.
stimulate. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to think too much about it. So I've been like kind of soft watching Scrubs and How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, that's how I put on. I keep putting on Michael Che's sketch show.
I need to watch that one.
I just kind of put that one on. It's very like. It's 6 episodes, so like, it takes up 3 hours. If I'm like doing laundry or something, like that, it takes up the 3 hours of my time. But like,
easy.
It's nothing really. After so many watches, the jokes in there start to be like. Because I was doing that with like Chappelle's show, and Chappelle's show started getting a little boring. I was like, this is like we get it. Tyrone Bigum's like, it's funny, but it's not like it starts to lose its effect.
Yeah, no, for sure. I get that.
He's Tyrone.
Are you doing band camp? Are you helping out with band camp?
Yeah.
This year? Yeah. You are? Okay. I wasn't sure.
I'll be there.
Dope.
I'll be there outside. I don't know what I'm doing inside.
Something probably.
I like doing band camp. I always lose weight bad. I'm like blocking my mouth from the microphone, talking to it. I always lose some kind of weight at band camp.
Of course.
I'm focusing on that again. Like I'm gonna hit my diet again and
Hell yeah.
Drink more water. I didn't drink much water last week. I was in like South Padre for a couple of days and then San Antonio for a couple of days. Didn't drink much water. On Friday night, I came home. I was like really tired from the day. I was just exhausted, and I just like chugged like most of it was like a liter or something of water. It might have been a liter and a half. Like it was big, but I didn't chug it. But I like slowly drank it over the course of like 2 hours.
Killed it, yeah.
And I was like, I kept telling Ben, I was like, dude, I feel great. I feel fantastic. I'm like, I can, because I was starting to feel like a little like scratch in my throat. I was like, which I'm trying to feel it again. It might be just the talking, because I think I was just doing so much talking to like friends and stuff like that. That my throat was getting exhausted. But like, I was just doing so much stuff, and I was like just drinking that water. I was like, I feel fantastic. I'm like,
being hydrated feels great, bud.
Yeah, it's a little different.
It's different.
Just being hydrated in general, yeah. So I'm gonna, because of marching band, you have to be. I'm gonna focus on that too. Just like just hydrate. Watch a movie when I come home. I'm gonna redo the Travis Library this week. After band camp's done.
Oh yeah.
So
need to reformat my percussion library. It's just not done well. Need to figure out how to do a good way.
Also, I gotta
organizing it.
I gotta because I remade my book for, I think for trombone and for saxophone. Gotta redo it for everyone else. But then I think I'm gonna simplify the percussion stuff to like, they play, like, eights, like paradiddles, and like something. It was like an accent pattern, but like like 4 or 5 exercises.
Yeah.
You just play that for the length of the whatever we're doing. You just work on that. Because before I had a thing for each.
Yeah.
Like I said, you just kind of need to do the same things you do all the time.
Get the hands moving the way that they need to move.
Right, that's all you really kind of need to do. So I'm gonna have them do some of that too. Gotta rework on that stuff. But I'm excited to be back out there.
Yeah, man.
Be back in full force and not have to do like, oh, this is how we're doing like mask out and here's how we're like no, we're just back to doing band again.
Yeah. It's weird we could kind of ended
Yeah.
at this. It's weird finding this year's like group of kids that like I have like an attachment to. Like our sophomore year, the kids I was really attached to are all the kids that were in my brass band.
Yeah.
But they weren't necessarily the kids that I was attached to our freshman year. And I didn't realize that because you just kind of go based off of the last year. You're like, oh man, those are the kids. Like,
Do you find that within like the? That takes me a minute to find. Like,
it does, but just like I could kind of see where some of it's going.
Yeah.
You know,
like you get like good you get that vibe of like, oh, this isn't going to be a struggle with you. Like, it's
yeah,
fun.
exactly. Like I always have a tight relationship with a handful of flute players.
Right.
Don't know why.
Yeah.
I think it's because deep down, like, I have that connection. I played flute for 2 years. I don't know. But, like, I've always found, like, 3 or 4 kids that play flute.
Yeah.
Super tight with them. And after last year's group of seniors, I was, like, super close to all of them. I was like, oh, man, like, I don't know if I'm going to have anybody. Then, like, barely drop the ball. We get to leadership camp and like already like I'm tight with these the leaders of this flute section. So I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. You tend to find
happens. Yeah.
You tend to find that eventually.
Yeah.
Like, I know I experienced that. Like, it was weird. My first year, I was like, oh man, I don't want to leave these kids. And then the next year, I was like, I don't want to leave these kids.
Yeah.
And then my third year, I was kind of like, yeah, they're kids. Like I like it wasn't any like major. I don't know if that was because of the Zoom thing or because of like some of them I didn't teach the whole year, but
yeah.
like there was no like major like oh like these like like yeah, if they have a new director or if if we don't have as good of a relationship, like I'm okay. Like yeah,
it happens.
Yeah, but I'm still excited to teach. But
Excited to be back.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's gonna be a good time.
Hopefully this week goes better than last week.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Hopefully I don't die emotionally and physically. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out. I can't figure out when to work out, and that's what's bothering me. Because I also know that I need that.
Do you like working out at night, like before you go to bed?
No, I know I can't do that.
Okay.
I know I can't do that. So what's throwing me right now is like my 2 church rehearsals are both at 6. And well, at least this week we're done at 3, so I might be able to like sneak it in.
Yeah.
Like after camp before that. But like last week we were ending at 4. Because I was the only director there, I had to leave. I was the last one to leave.
Yeah.
Of course, so it's just like I'm leaving at like 4:30. Like I might be able to run over there and get the workout in, but then like I'm gonna 100% be dripping sweat while I go to church, and like
Right.
don't wanna do that. So
you can always like on those days in the morning, like kind of.
I'm trying to figure that out. Yeah. Trying to figure out which days to do what.
I'm gonna try to do because we're starting at 7, right? 7:30. Yeah, 7. Jesus.
Never gets easier, bro. Never gets easier.
We're starting at 7, so I'm definitely gonna be going. I might go like after.
Yeah.
I might go at night. I don't know. I kind of like working out at night because then you like you take a shower and go to bed and you're exhausted and you're just like, all right, cool, I'm tired.
I'm awake. I'm awake. That's the problem.
You're awake.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I'm not. Yeah.
That's why I liked doing the workouts in the morning, is because it kind of gets me like jump started. But
yeah,
I don't know. Like I said, gotta figure it out. Anyways, well, look forward to this week, man. Glad you're back. Glad you get to run life a little bit more into the normalcy.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to like. I was like telling myself this all the time. I'm excited to just be at home. Like,
yeah.
Not that I don't like see my friends and stuff like that from like school and like going home to my parents and stuff like that, but I'm excited to just be at home and just not have to like, oh, I gotta come out and see like do this. Like, no, I can just spend the weekend like hanging out, refueling myself, not really draining myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about that as far as refueling, like having a garage to work out in. It's gonna be really helpful.
It's gonna be cool to be like
really
I
nice.
can come out to my garage and work out.
Yeah.
Are you gonna is the goal to try to get like
not a full like squat rack in there, but I'll get some kettlebells.
Yeah.
Like really, what I want is just a fat tire.
Yeah. And a sledgehammer.
And a sledgehammer. And a boxing and a heavy bag.
Yeah.
I get those three things.
Good to go.
A kettlebell. I'm fine.
I mean, yeah.
Just do 50 kettlebell swings, beat the shit out of the tire,
and then just box for 30.
And then just
for 3.
Hit the bag until my arms stop moving. All right.
I mean, you'd be so tired by the end of that workout.
Hell yeah.
But like if you eat enough like steak after that, it's just
Yoke City, man. That's what I'm going for.
I just eat red meat and hit stuff.
All I want to do is eat red meat, beat the shit out of things.
Well, that's a fun way to.
Cheers. Everyone has been rocking this all the way to the end. Hope you guys enjoy the episode. Y'all be easy. Peace. See you next time.